Now, Fox News reporting, American Payday, the big squeeze. The election is almost upon us. And with the House of Representatives firmly in Republican hands and the White House, of course, off the table, everyone's focus is on this side of the U.S. Capitol, the U.S. Senate. The Republicans' magic number is a gain of 6 seats. Anything less, and Democrats remain in control. So both sides are fighting it out in state after state, realizing the national implications of those local results. And if there's one issue that's got everyone's attention, it's the economy. President Obama recently said that the economy is better than when he first took office. But the public is uneasy. Nevertheless, Democrats have been trying to establish that they're the ones to be trusted with the economy. And over the past year, there's a phrase they've been using quite a bit.
I believe this is the defining challenge of our time.
Democrats have been talking a lot lately about income inequality.
There is no greater challenge this country has than income inequality, and we must do something about it.
This is not an issue that's going to go away.
Concern over the unequal distribution of wealth is becoming a familiar theme in American politics, especially on the left.
Shut down Wall Street!
And Democrats hope it will play a major role in this election cycle.
What we're talking about here, income disparity, inequality in recognizing the value of work, can do more to undermine the middle class and therefore undermine our democracy.
But pegging the election to income inequality might prove tricky for Democrats. For one thing, income disparity tends to be most stark in the places that are run and populated by Democrats. We went to Nancy Pelosi's hometown of San Francisco, which, as it turns out, is a case study in income inequality and the epicenter of a protest movement over that wealth gap.
Welcome to the revolution.
Tommi Avicolli Mecca is a local activist and founder of the San Francisco Housing Rights Committee.
The disparity between the people at the top 5%, I think is what they measured, versus the rest of us in the city is so wide, and it's growing every moment.
He's one of the leaders of a movement that's taken to the streets, protesting the eviction of thousands of San Franciscans.
People are being evicted, but we're fighting back.
People like Claudia Tirado. She's the mother of a 2-year-old boy named Valentino and teaches at Fairmont, a local elementary school. She moved to San Francisco 16 years ago, settling in a largely Hispanic neighborhood called The Mission.
I gravitated towards The Mission because I'm Latina. It's always felt like home to me. It's where I feel accepted.
Not long ago, she was told she had 120 days to vacate the apartment she'd lived in for 14 years.
I felt fear and depression. I didn't understand why I was being evicted. I always paid my rent on time, and I've never had a problem.
This being San Francisco, even artists like Candace Roberts have gotten into the act.
Now she's not my city anymore.
It's my response to what's going on in San Francisco right now.
No, she's not my city anymore.
It's about the working and middle classes being shut out economically from the city that they call home. A lot of my audience, they're sympathetic. We're like-minded folks. A lot of them are artists. We're all struggling to be here.
Many of the displaced know exactly where to lay the blame. On Silicon Valley, they say its nouveau riche tech workers are bidding up the housing market and changing the face of San Francisco.
San Francisco is sold to them as a perk, an added benefit. You can come work on this college-like campus and get to live in this cool, hip city in this cultural neighborhood.
Erin McElroy is founder of the Anti-Eviction Mapping Project.
It is class war. It is the replacement of multiple classes with a much more dominant ruling class that happens to be in this city, the tech industry.
Perhaps the greatest symbol of the intrusion of Silicon Valley, the shuttles, commonly known as Google buses. They pick up employees from firms like Twitter, Yahoo, and yes, Google, to carry them to their high-tech campuses miles away in the suburbs.
Tech, you can hide. We can see your crazy side.
Protesters have blocked the buses and even broken windows and slashed tires. Some of the activists advocate pretty drastic remedies.
I would love to socialize the housing market. I consider myself an anti-capitalist. I think a lot of people in the housing movement do.
However it turns out, the battle in San Francisco makes one thing clear. Income inequality has no political party. After all, San Francisco's politics tend to range from center-left to far-left. And the so-called bad guys in this fight, rich people from Silicon Valley, are a key Democratic constituency. Which suggests that it's not income inequality as an issue itself that will decide who runs the Senate in the upcoming elections, but rather the very real anxieties about the economy that taps into it.
The big issue is not so much the gap between rich and poor. The real issue is upward mobility. There's nothing wrong if rich people get richer, but when rich people get richer and the middle class actually stagnates, that's the problem.
Joel Kotkin, professor of urban studies at Chapman University, whose latest book is The New Class Conflict, sees the divide among Democrats in San Francisco as part of a broader trend.
What's ridiculous is what you're doing to our people. Who are you? Who are you? Just let those people go to work.
You're going to see a real conflict in the Democratic Party between the gentry wing and the middle and working class wings.
And Silicon Valley, loaded with money, influence, and an insistent green agenda, is a significant part of that gentry wing.